For a good while, I was also using a hell of a lot of wood to produce those frames, so I had this tree farm. Because as you can see, where is it? It's here now. I'm basically outputting, using applied logistics, I'm outputting the frames. And if you notice, that is set to move single items / craft. So when it runs out of items in the system over there, it basically tells that autocrafter you saw downstairs to craft more frames. So that feeds into the relay, which is currently full, and that feeds into a router, which I started using routers only a bit, like not very long before I had to kind of give it a bit of a rest. But routers fill things with connected inventory, so that's why this chest is. Wow, that's why. That's why the chest is there, although that chest is full of phased pollen. Oh yeah, that's so that that's basically so that the chest doesn't fill up with items. You can see all kinds of nice combs coming out there. You're beginning to see why I've got so much propolis. But yeah, so that's routers will fill up all of these with frames. The way that alvearies work is that it's just a bit like a normal apiary. It's just that you've got frames in separate places. But because you can have so many frames, that's why it's so good, pretty much. You can see the leftovers from my breeding and stuff there. Okay, and we're back at Squaffco. So I gave you a bit of a tour over there, showed you some of my bees, that kind of thing. Incidentally, these hives you can see down here, these are doctoral. And pretty much even when they are not in fact producing, not in fact exploiting flowers, so they don't decay in terms of death, you'll notice, particularly with this one, because the light is on, as soon as it gets close... No? Bees? Hello? Can you help me out? There you go. There you go. I just had to refresh it because I've not been on for so long. You notice he's taking damage. The bees are stinging him. They're doctoral bees, so they've basically got this trait that's heroic. That means that they will hurt mobs, but not you. Oh, zombie's got a fat bit of a turn of speed to him. But yeah, so that's quite cool. I'm going to have to grab some food because I'm wasting away. What have I got? Have I got any ambrosia? That would be kind of nice to show. Yes, I do. I autocraft that because I can, basically. Lots of food, very tasty, gives you regeneration as well. Throw some of this back in here. I showed you that kind of convoluted mess of pipes and things. This basically autocrafts frames. Fabricator, that's from Zycraft, which was an amazing mod. Had a few issues with the Zycraft tanks on the server, which was a shame because they were very cool. But nonetheless, Fabricators, amazing. I wish we still had Zycraft, if only for those. I'll show you this. Where's my wand? There's my wand. No, this isn't. I don't have a wand. I'll just grab one quickly. That'll do. Any sort of wand, just required to break these watered blocks. And you can see, hidden away behind here, I have a Mine Factory Reloaded spawner. Now, what goes in there, you ask? Well, where are we? Another floor up. Should be knocking around. A witch. Oh, okay. Brainy zombie. Is there something in that? No, nothing in that. Okay, I'm just going to have to launch one. Now, where are any of my guards? I would like to find a guard. Oh, I know there's one downstairs. I'll use him. Give me my test subject. This is a Safari net launcher. And when you right-click on them, obviously you can't because you can't get them in a Safari net because it opens their inventory. Like so. If you try and right-click, it says, hello, what kind of things do you want me to shoot? Kill. Whereas if you use one of these, then you can get him in the Safari net. And so, if you put it in there, then they spawn. Particularly if you go spawn exact copy. Have we got enough power? There's no power to this. Ah, that's because I knocked off a cable. Okay, so I just want a glass fiber cable, because glass fiber cables are great. And so because it wasn't spawning an exact copy, it just produced generic golems. So these guys, no benefits to them or anything like that. No perks. GL glass fiber. This is my skin, by the way. This is me in my lab coat. And so if we throw one of these down here and one of these down here, we can have some power to this. And then, if you notice, it's spawning fully upgraded golems with top hats, of course, because, you know, why wouldn't you want golems with top hats? And dart guns. And I better turn it off before I'm overrun by golems, in fact. But yeah, so, and I think because it's an exact copy, they all seem to congregate in the place where the original one was. So then you can just pick them up, like so, and 6 relatively free golems. Which, you know, obviously is excellent. And so I'll take you up to the... No, actually, I'll just pop these in my chest up here. And then I'll go back downstairs. And, where's my chest? I'll show you those guys in a minute. I'll just throw them in ME, I suppose. There we go. Okay, this was such a pain to make. It looks horrible, and yeah, it was. But this basically is my alveary producer. If you can see, I've got 1 or 2 impregnated frames there. That's from the flax, in fact, that you saw downstairs. The string is used to make frames, and the flax is used to make seed oil, which makes these. And so then I've got fabricators making frames, and this makes alveary blocks. So obviously I've got 1 or 2 other alvearies there, which are kind of... If you've done much forestry, you'll know how difficult it is to get alvearies. So that was... this was good. How easy it was. That's why I got just so many outside. I just kept adding more and more, and then the lag got a bit intense because I was using pneumatic tubes from Red Power at the time, so which is crazy. But these guys tend to keep the right sort of machines stocked with things. Not him, the other ones. And I had to use these because the ME doesn't really work well for some things. Some of the forestry stuff, it just seems to refuse. It just seems to refuse to just play ball with the ME. It was just losing mats. And here I've got more serums for feast, industrious ruby, all kinds of things. These you can use to make, to inject. You basically inject, where is it? Yeah, you inoculate bees, like heroic effect serum. I'm giving, for some reason, to a doctoral bee. That if I analysed that now, it would now have the doctoral thing. So basically, the doctoral effect that you saw killed mobs, but not me. You could give that to any bee. So even an imperial or a caffeine or coffee. I made coffee using bees, just for lols. Liquid DNA and empty apparently. Oh, never mind. This is my squid milking machine. Because who doesn't want a squid milking machine? And there's a ton of fish in here. Why is there a lot of fish in here? Oh, it's a fisher. Yeah, this down here is a rancher, which is traditionally used for cows. However, if you put a squid in there, then it milks the squid. That's why there's 471 ink in there, because who wouldn't want a squid milking machine? I mean, really, milking squid is just, yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to do it by hand, I'll tell you that. Down here, I don't know what I've got. Oh yeah, that's my squeezer, and then over here is my bunch of centrifuges from forestry again, that basically process the comb into its constituent parts, like you just saw. I don't know what I made that out of. And then it all goes into ME, and as you can imagine, I've got lots of honey, lots of beeswax, and then increasing amount of pulsating propolis. What do I do with that? What does that make? I think it's probably something useless if I've not made it into anything. Oh yeah, it makes pulsating mesh, which then makes ender pearls, which there's much easier ways to make ender pearls than that. Have I showed you this level completely? Beekeeper's suit. Oh, that's my matter fabricator. So that's getting thorium. When you process dust, when you process uranium, you end up with thorium as something of a byproduct, I think. Down here are my kind of higher GregTech machines. This is my the reason why I stopped using the tree farm is that this is my infinite wood generator, which basically when a sawmill cuts wood, it makes 5, maybe 6 planks. I can't remember. And then you can recombine those planks into a block of wood using a cyclic assembler. I expect somewhere. Where is that? Over here, perhaps. Oh no, it's all done in house. Yeah, you basically use a minium stone to make wood, pretty much. There we go. That's why I've got 69,000 planks. You use a minium stone, and that combines 4 planks to make a block of wood, which is fair enough. But then you can kind of exploit it a bit because of this. So well, it's not less exploiting, more using magic to generate more. And the minium stones you've still got to acquire by means. And so yeah, and so there's things like here, like singularity compressor, plate bending machine, etc., etc. All the slightly awkward GregTech machines, industrial blast furnace, all like that. For a good while, I was using my platinum bees. Oh, you can see it now. Platinum bees produce platinum cones that you then centrifuge into dust like this, and then you can use that to make iridium. If you centrifuge platinum, you get iridium, which is fantastic because iridium is very difficult to get. You have to go to the end, all that kind of thing. I'm being more of a stay at home with the bees kind of guy. Get the bees going, slowly but surely generates it. This is ruby dust made from my ruby bees. Tiny piles of, because they produce tiny piles of that you then have to make into the platinum, obviously. Tin from tin bees, titanium from the same. More titanium, that kind of thing. This basically makes things easy, combines small piles into big piles. And I don't know what these are. Oh, chemical reactors. Oh yeah, I was experimenting with different kinds of power. You can react chemicals together to, in some ways, generate power. What's done here again? Oh, I've probably shown you down here. This, for a time, when I needed nether wart, I just had general kind of Thaumcraft farming golems over there. This is my kind of force field system. So as long as you are signed on, when you've placed this block, as long as you're signed on, it emits a redstone signal. Or as long as the user who placed it is on, generates a redstone signal, which deactivates this torch, so nothing happens. So basically, as soon as I log off, this emits a redstone signal and turns on the defense system, which at the moment actually I don't think does anything. It basically warns people to stay away. It warns them that there's MFFS in operation. So as far as they know, it could be just about to kill them. So yeah, I'm generally not unpleasant. So I don't just kill users for just wandering near to my base. So let's head up. Seen the B level. Magic level. Kind of does what it says in the tin. Used a lot of Thaumcraft. This basically sucks that amount of each into here. What am I making there? Crystal, vitriol, exchange, glass, and magic. No idea what I'm making there, but basically it inserts it in, and then you can right-click at the side, and even though there's that on top, you'll still be able to get your item out, which is nice. That's infinite water source that the golems will use. Oh, these are ages, so kind of Mistcraft ages that you can then mine in, which is good. Oh yeah, that's all my. I bet that node's getting big up there now. Oh, and it's actually not. it's actually only on 2 of the... This is the thing with they're so unreliable, the nodes in this version of Thaumcraft, the newest version, which I've played. Nodes are so much better. I mean, theoretically, you can creatively spawn them in, so if something, for no apparent reason, which I think the bug is fixed, but even if the bug isn't fixed, which I believe it is, then you can get a user who's in creative to just spawn them in, and then you can place them in the world. So that's a much easier way of doing things. So I think I've shown you most of everything. If there's anything else you'd like to have a look at, let me know. The server will only be up for so long. Okay, that wasn't at all creepy. Oh, that's the brains in jars. But yeah, for experience, when you've killed the creepers and things, they drop experience when you do it with a railgun in a deployer. They might have fixed that bug by now. But yeah, so my power system generated a tremendous amount of monster essence, which I then just used somewhere, I imagine. Oh yeah, I set up a system that used the enchanted books, and I just ended up with so many books. I could probably show them to you in here. And yeah, yeah, you can see them all there with like all kinds of just so many enchantments. So I obviously had to turn that off because that would have gone mental. I actually used the surplus sawdust here to make paper at the time, but I think it does something else now. Oh, that makes string for wool. I wonder where I was getting the wool from for that. Don't know. Don't want that goo. I'll put it in the chest. Hungry chest. And I'm making something here. What am I making? Logic matrices. Ah, for the routers. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much Squaffco. As you were, golems. So yeah, won't be around for much longer, I expect, but it was fun to do, definitely. And see you next time.